Okay, hey guys, welcome to today's video. I'm showing you another one in my series of jump scare videos. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the trick tile wall jump scare. For this, what you're going to need is a trigger, speaker, because it's good to add a little sound to it, and then, of course, the trick tile device and a wall. First thing you're going to want to do is build the hidden area. That can be a secret room in the wall or below a hallway, and add into your room your desired props or whatever trap you want to have, anything like that. Here's an example. I built just a little hallway. It's very important, whatever wall you're putting the trick tile on, it has to be on grid. If you don't know what that is, if you go into your options, like right now I've got building to prop on, your building to prop has to be off when you place the wall that the trick tile is going on. The trick tile will only go to walls that are on the grid. So what I've got here is just a simple hallway, trick tile already in place, and then over here left this wall off so that I could show you. I've just got like a little gargoyle in there. But you could put whatever you want, design your own creature, whatever, so that when the wall disappears, it creates a good scare. Then here's another example. Here, I've got it built as a hallway above, so that when the trick tile is tripped, you drop down in, and I just put some spiders there. I don't really use this type myself. I favor the ones in the wall versus actually dropping you down, unless it's in a map that you're building where you trigger the trap and it drops you down into like a different maze or different set of rooms for something like that. But you set up your trigger to activate the trick tile, and you can also add lights to your secret room that are activated by the trigger. It's a lot of options that you can add, but here as an example, just got a trigger right in front of the trick tile, speaker. So that's kind of how you want it to set up, is right near it. You could put it back a little farther and use the delay setting so that you keep walking and then it opens. But in your trick tile settings, I usually put an activation delay of 0.25 or 0.5. Trigger player contact, that's in the trick tile settings. I always put that as no, because what that means is that the player has to actually bump into the trick tile for it to activate. If it's on a wall, that's not really that great. If it's on a floor, that setting you can use. I always use a trigger though. Feedback, I always put as none, but you can do your own settings. And of course, trigger when receiving from, in this case it's going to be channel 3 that I've got it set up for. And then also, if you want it to be set to reappear, just set the reset after to your desired time. You can add it in, have it reappear after 3 seconds, 5 seconds. There's a lot of options there, but if you want it to stay open, you can of course leave that to nothing. And then this is what the final product looks like. I've got that wall closed in, and here to show you these settings, I've got an activation delay of 0.25 seconds. Let's go to the advanced and start at the top. Enabled, of course, yes. Those I can leave alone. Activation delay 0.25 seconds. Activated on game start, no. If you have this setting on yes, the trick tile will already be triggered, and it'll be that wall will not be there. So always leave that to no, unless you're doing the opposite and doing a reappearing bridge, which if that's the case, then you would want to have it act when triggered, would want it to reset. But that's something completely different than this. Trigger on player contact, no. Trigger feedback, I chose none. Reset after 3 seconds. Trigger when receiving from channel 3. And that's all the settings on that. And then here's our trigger. Got it set up just to be activated by the player. Times it can be triggered. For jump scares, I always use just one. If you wanted it to be, if it's a multiplayer map, then maybe you want it to be infinitely triggerable, but that's your choice. Most of the maps that I make that I use this are single player, so once a player goes past it, not really a point to having it reset so that it could be triggered again. Transmit every one trigger. Here, like I said, if you wanted to have a delay and put the trigger back farther, this is where you would add how many ever seconds delay you want it to be. Reset delay, same thing, you could add a delay and how long it takes to reset. Sound disabled, effects disabled, visible in game, no. Enabled on game start, yes. And when triggered, transmit on, in this case, channel 3. And then I've just got our music here. I chose a sound, put it to very loud, distance, near, because I kind of want it to seem like, you know, something's right there. Activate on hit, no. Visible in game, no. Can be heard by everyone. Play with the device, activate, same thing as the trigger. Activate when receiving from channel 3. And that's basically how you set up your basic wall trick tile jump scare. And let me just start the game and we'll run through it. And that's what it should happen. And there's a lot of applications to this. Of course, with the sample hallway that I've got made here, the effect isn't quite as dramatic as if you put this into a darkened map. For instance, in one of my maps, I've used that, and in the eyes of the gargoyle, I took some of the flaming pumpkins from the spooky gallery, shrunk those down, and used those as eyeballs, which really looked pretty good because it looked like they were flaming eyeballs. Added some dramatic lighting behind it that was also triggered from the trigger, and it looked really good. Came across real well in that map. But that's how you do a basic trick tile wall jump scare. If you like this video, please subscribe and hit the like button. Thanks.